Okay, Jay, let's get straight into it.
Yeah.
How are you feeling on the first tee today?
Nervous. Actually, not too bad. Better than I thought I was going to be, but still nervous. What about you?
I felt my heart race a little bit just as I walked up to the ball and just as I set the club down, I felt a couple of quite intense heartbeats. And I was like, it's okay.
Yeah.
I kind of told myself it was okay in the hope that I would maybe think it was. And yeah, I was like, oh yeah, it is okay. And luckily hit it out of the middle of the club and it was quite nice.
Yeah, you flushed it down there. Downwind is nice.
That was very nice. Yeah, I was so happy it was downwind.
I mean, to be able to, hit a 4-iron off the tee, actually, it's harder than it used to be for me. But to skank the 4-iron like I did, wasn't a hell of a lot of club face on it. But I still only had like a 50 degree into the green. So, and you just about drove it on with your bloody 2-iron.
Yeah.
Which in some ways shows how windy it was.
It was very,
It was off the right a little bit, down
it
off
was
the
sort
right.
of down off the right. I got it right on the middle. It was one of the ones when you hit it and you don't feel much. It was like, oh, that's nice. And it kind of just turned over a little draw down there and it just bounded away. So I had 2-iron and it ended up going about 270.
Yeah, like that 4-iron you had the other day.
Yeah, so I had 50 meters in, which is a very nice start. But yours wasn't quite the same shape as mine, was it, your tee shot?
Nah, it's kind of like, I think I hit it about the equator of the board. But strangely, I didn't feel that nervous. I actually turned my heart rate monitor on. I turned my Garmin on the 5th tee, the par 5. And that was easy, right? Like it's the par 5 that, I mean, what did you hit in? Jimmy Napier hit 9-iron into it.
I had 111 meters in.
And Jimmy Napier hit driver 9-iron and actually hit a second shot, hit the flag. That's pretty cool. Could have made it too. But I was thinking, on that tee, I was like, there's OB right, but a long way right. I'm partial to a long way right.
Yeah.
So on that tee, I was trying to justify in my head why I could just hit 4-iron.
Yeah.
Because I honestly do think you could still get to the green with 4-iron off the tee. But then I thought, that wasn't why you came here. That wasn't why you're playing. You're not playing to necessarily, not fuck it up, I guess. Because I was saying shoot the best score, but it was more than not stuff it up. So then I thought, no, right, this is an opportunity to hit driver. So, but I thought I'll turn my heart rate on to see what happens. And a little bit of a flare.
Yeah.
Came down in bounds, did hit a provisional, but that was probably the most anxious moment. And I think part of it was because the group behind were on the green about 10 yards to our left.
And they were all watching.
And they're all watching because they know me. And it's like the train wreck that you kind of want to see. Like, I don't want to watch it, but I'm going to watch it. And I knew they were watching. Yeah, so that was probably my most anxious, more so than the first tee. Yeah.
Let's go back a little bit. So how were the feelings when we arrived in the car park and you saw some people that potentially played with growing up, you did traineeship with, sort of know you, and those conversations started happening as a few? Oh, it was awesome when I saw your name in the draw, Jay. I was excited that you were playing. Did anything trigger any anxiety at that stage, or was it not until we sort of got to the first tee?
No, nothing then, because I think all they were thinking was, sweet, it's one person not beating me. They saw me. It was probably the first couple of shots. When Denver showed up behind me with the camera, warming up. That was actually more anxious than the 5th tee, to be honest.
You sort of did a double take. You're on the range, you've been hitting them okay.
Yeah.
And then he turned up with the camera and you were like, oh, he kind of went through your routine again.
Not comfortable. I think I just questioned whether he actually needed to be there or not. So that's probably when it started, because then I thought, oh, you are actually going to have to face this. But you know what? Like, it was just nerves. I think it wasn't the old school anxiety, which probably came a little bit later. So all in all, and then, we'll get to that, but all in all, it was good. Did you have any spikes leading in?
No, I don't think so. I was a little nervous on the range. Like I hit a couple of skanky ones on the range, but then we'll show a video of the range, I think, where the outer there was wind off the left on the range, and there was just a tree line, and we were in the far right bays. So I felt like even aiming to the middle, it could still float out of bounds essentially on the range. But I sort of aimed a couple down the right and just really tried to commit to hitting a straight shot, not try and hook it back into play, just hitting a straight shot. And I ended up getting a couple out of the middle that stayed in, like aiming down there, and they kind of stayed in, and it kind of calmed me down a little bit. It wasn't until until I got driver out a bit later on that I realized the numbers were a bit juiced on the tracer, because I was like, oh, that ball speed's quite nice. That I must be hitting it okay. But then I hit the first drive a little bit average, and the ball speed was 180. I was like, oh, okay, that's not right, because I can't reach that when I hit a good one. So kind of a bit of false confidence, but helped me along the way. And as I said, I got to the first tee, and a couple of strong heartbeats, but felt really calm over the shot. I definitely think playing those few holes yesterday, and funnily enough, I think seeing you hit that shot before me, that I don't know if it got above your knee height, kind of gave me permission to hit a poor one too. I think if I went first, it would have been a little bit worse. Or if you flushed it, I'd be like, oh, what if I'm the only one that's a good one here? But it kind of gave me permission to go, okay, well, if I had a bad one, it's okay.
You're welcome.
Thanks for that.
That's why I did it, because I thought I could flush this, but mate, I would just skank it.
So there must have been a bit of an adrenaline rush, because I don't hit my 2-iron 270 meters.
No.
It was downwind, but that if there was a bunker at 250, I probably still would have hit my 2-iron, thinking it won't run out to there.
And then you hit it to about 3 feet.
Yeah,
lovely little chaser up there.
I've actually, for my stats, I did like 3.2 feet, because I didn't want to say I missed a 3-footer, but to just outside of putter length, and missed it. Yeah, I was like, oh, here we go. This will be a nice start. Easy one under through one, and then
win the skins.
Yeah, missed it. And the skins game too. And that did run through my mind. I was like, well, this will be nice to get a share of the money early. Didn't
eventuate. What was going through your head when you missed that?
I wasn't too concerned. It was more a little bit, that kind of makes sense. For the last month, the greens we've been playing on have all been cord. And I kind of went back. I was like, I haven't actually hit a putt from that distance softly, where I've just tried to drop it in the front edge. And even from 3 feet, I was kind of playing it left centre. I pushed it a touch, and it kind of just broke away as a push. But for the last month or so, everything from that range has just been firm and straight. So I think that probably hurt a little bit, not having the preparation, because I would have spent a bit of time on those shorter putts. I really like trying to get the speed where I can just see it drop over the front edge. I don't really like ramming those ones where it might go 2 or 3 feet past. So it was more disappointment than, this is something I better watch out for. It wasn't concerning.
Yeah. And at what point did you kind of go, yeah, everything's back to level now, I'm comfy, this is cool, this is exciting, or was that the whole time?
As I said, it felt quite calm when I actually made the swing on the first tee, but there was still a level of excitement. And, walking down the fairway, we're actually in the tournament, like you're going to your ball, I'm going to my ball. I'm not just walking down together, having a chat, like, I better go and start going through my process to mine. I can't just go to your ball, and then after you hit, then we go to my ball.
Yeah.
And probably on the second tee. So that ended up being almost straight into the wind. And once I hit that drive, I had a pretty decent strike. And the one I was worried about was the big balloony cut, or the low heel where it just keeps sailing right.
Yeah.
And I hit that okay. And I was like, oh, actually, I'm okay. This is okay. I'm comfortable enough.
That was a bloody long hole, that second hole. Holy heck.
On my GPS, it kind of tells me on my watch. I don't know, it picks up the strike and it measures how far it was. So I hit it pretty good, and it was about 242. And I had 276, I think. I hit 4-iron, and I still had 126, I think. Yeah. Yeah, it was long.
Oh, well, I think I would drive a 4-iron. I sort of punched my second 4-iron, just thinking I'll just thread it up by those bunkers.
Yeah.
And then Alaro said, is that where you were trying to hit that? Really? Looked like it only went about 100 meters, but I felt okay.
Yeah. So Alaro, your daughter, she was caddying for you today?
She was with me.
She was caddying, because she did use the remote control.
No, I was using that.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Okay. But what was interesting is she was almost your internal voice, but for the whole group to hear. That was really cool.
Yeah. She was funny because on the first hole, I said, you know the etiquette of golf and you know what to do. She goes, yeah, don't talk and don't move. And I was like, yeah, don't stand here or there. And then anyway, she goes, because you guys were, based on my first tee shot, which we've discussed, you guys were significantly further ahead of me. And she goes, why have they carried on walking? I said, well, they're going to the ball. Like, yeah, but that's in front of your ball. You want me to do that in golf? You need to stay behind. I was like, oh, it's pretty safe. I won't hit with. And then we're walking down the second hole while you were hitting your second shot, I think. I was just walking, or maybe, yeah, I was walking up the left.
Yeah.
And she's like, you're freaking me out a bit. I was like, why? She goes, well, you're walking and Scott's playing and you're talking. I was like, Scott's got his back to me and he's 100 meters away. Yeah, but the rules are you got to stay still. I was like, oh. And then anyway, so I hit that third shot, ForeRight, and just flushed it into the wind. It was pure. And I hit it to 15 feet. And I said to her, it's the best golf shot you've ever seen in your life. And she just went, oh. And then on the fourth, is it fourth? No, third.
The next hole, the
par three? Yeah. Third, she goes, it's possibly the worst shot I've ever seen in my life. So yeah, you're right. She became my inner voice. What did she say?
It was quite funny because it was like your inner voice, but it was like the R-rated, the PG version.
Yeah.
She's like, well, that sucked. It was like, it's the sort of stuff you say to yourself, but it was the nice version.
Yeah.
Yeah, she said that a few times, actually.
Yeah, which better? That sucked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or that wasn't very good.
Yeah. Or is that where you were aiming?
Yeah.
Which is, but it was bloody cool to have her out. She did say, I've never seen you play golf before, which if you think she's 20, and I've done nothing other than golf pretty much since she's been alive. So yeah, it was pretty cool to have her out there.
Nice. It sort of lightened the mood, I think, as well. And knowing you for obviously years now, seeing her kind of grow up, it made sort of me feel a bit more comfortable as well. Like, I can chat to her. It's not all pure golf.
Yeah.
Which is quite nice too. The third shot, the par 3, there's one that I did want to mention.
Yeah,
so
I knew that because your phone came out as I hit it.
So it was 167.
Yep.
I think. And I remind you, we can't ask each other what clubs we hit out on the course. So I didn't actually ask what you hit.
Yeah.
I did have a peek in your bag. Was it 6 iron?
8 iron.
Oh, you did have 8. Okay. Because I thought you might hit 7.
Yeah.
And I didn't see 7. I was like, oh,
just to clarify for those that have just gone 167, Jay, there's no way you're hitting 8 iron. It was hissing downwind.
Straight downwind. So I obviously didn't have a very good look. So I thought you had 6 because I had 8 and I was like, if you've got 6, I'm going to have to go after this. Yeah. But anyway, you took a bit off an 8.
I did, yes. Because it was downwind, it's one of those courses that's got like little reeds and stuff in front of the tee. Lovely, very beautiful. And I thought I need to take a bit off this. So if I just tear it up behind that reed there, which is a bit taller than the other ones, and if I just clip it on the way past, it'll just soften it a fraction. So it's a little bit like my strike off the first, which is why because I hit that a few times today, that sort of skinny one, which is why I'm not sure that normally on the first tee, my horrific shot, I would put down 100% to nerves. But in actual fact, I think there was a skill element in that as well today, which could have been from the nerves too, right? Like there's not as we know, it's not black and white or binary. But so yeah, that one there, I just thought if I hit that reed, there was 2 reeds, and I just thought if I clip that left one, it'll just take a fraction off it. And look, it went to the middle of the green after 4 holes. I've hit every fairway and every green in regulation. I did happen to 3-putt that, which is disappointing. But yeah, and then I actually looked in your bag and saw you were hitting 8, and I just thought, and then you flushed it, and funny enough, out the back of the green.
Yeah, I do. I actually think it landed.
Did you not hit the reed? Did you not try and hit the reed?
No, I actually went over it. Yeah.
Yeah. Novel approach.
I think I landed pin high, but I was on the left of the green on the downslope.
Well, I think at 167 downwind on firm greens, I don't think landing at pin high was the play.
It was a front flag. I don't know if we didn't play that hole yesterday, so
no,
I also didn't know what the green complex.
Well, even walking to the tee, because we walked off the green yesterday, and I was like, "No, this is a short par 3."
Yeah.
And then I was
And
like,
we kept walking
are we
back.
going to the right tee? Oh, we're going on. Yeah.
And also our pin sheet said that pin was 3 from the right. So
Yeah.
I took a guess and I was like, I want to aim about there. And I pulled it a touch. But the pin was in the middle. So I've missed the
Yeah.
green quite a way.
I blame Denver for that.
So that's on you, Denver.
Yeah, Denver.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So what else have you got for it? See, the shit thing is, I've got nothing on you. You actually played lovely.
Well, I don't have anything on you. One question.
I guess I brought it on myself.
No, one question I do want to ask though is, when did you start thinking about the 9th tee shot?
Well, probably no. As we parked our trundles, probably because I took driver and hybrid.
Yeah.
And that was when I went. So for reference, if you haven't played Windross Farm, at this point there was a massive squall which we got called out with.
Absolutely
We all
drenched.
got drenched, and hard off the left, which if you've got a bit of a flare cut is a miss.
I took a little video actually, and I'll post that up in this part.
Yeah, what, me hitting on?
No, walking down the fairway and
Oh.
the rain just coming in sideways, umbrellas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But OB is literally on the right, or not hazard, and then OB, as it turns out. But you have got the first fairway on the left, and so for me that's just an absolute nightmare shot. And I stood over the first one, and then went. So I had hybrid and driver if I back up to that, and then I thought again, no, I'm confident that I could chip a hybrid down there, keep it under the wind, and I'd probably have 3 wood into the green. But then again, I was like, no, that's not why I'm here. I'm here to bloody face the demons. Grab driver, stood over it, and then all of a sudden went similar feeling, to that when I froze on the first tee of years ago. So then I just went, no, backed off, and the self-talk was along the lines of, this is cool, this is what you're here for. And I hit it down the left side of the fairway probably as a start line, but not a great strike, like a little bit low on the face and therefore spinny, and just caught the wind, howling rain and shit. So you can't quite see it. So I was like, right, I'll play a provisional, go down, get a provisional, pretty much hit the same shot. And then I ran, I said to you, if you've got another ball in your pocket, my bag. So I ran to my bag, got my third one out. But I just thought, this is cool. Like if I stand here all day, then I stand here all day. By this stage, I'm soaking wet. I had 2 wet weather jackets because I knew ROs was coming out. I gave her the good one, and if I was wearing the one that's like a sieve, which is not massively functional. Not that I'm blaming that, because I was already wet anyway, because it sort of snuck up on us that. But then the third one, I was just like, oh, the tin cup just came to mind now. I just thought, well, face the demon. I could be here all day.
Yeah.
Because this is a hard shot to get away from. But the third one I actually hit. Yeah. Lovely. I actually never went and picked up that ball, which is a shame. So anyway, but I wasn't massively. I was anxious on that first one. Yeah, for sure. The second one was more of a, you're actually not very good, and this is a hard shot for you. And then the third one was probably a combination of both, but then just went, fuck it, just fully commit, and did. But do you know what? Normally, like when I say normally, 20 years ago, that would have just been wrapped up in shame. Yeah. And I would have avoided A, talking about it, or B, looking forward to the next opportunity that I'd be just avoiding that. No, I wouldn't have hit driver in the first place. Yeah. But even if I did the next time, it's definitely hybrid. Yeah. Whereas walking down that fairway, there was a sense of disappointment that it was over. It's like, that was your moment, because that's the shit shot that you hate. Like it couldn't have happened at a worse time, left to right wind. Yeah. I think we literally got the absolute worst time to stand on that tee. Yeah. Which was the best time. There's the biggest gift. Which is the biggest, Because I reckon the lesson learned is, it sucks. You're not that good, but you can still step up and try and commit to it. Yeah. So, like tomorrow, there's already a bit of anxiety about that tee shot, whether there's wind or not, because it's right. Are you going to be able to step up and hit this? Yeah. But at least looking forward to that, stepping into that and going, have a crack here. Yeah. So there's a reason the channel's called ForeRight,
because just because I have the ability to hit that one as well. And I started probably on the 6th. I kind of looked over, and the rain wasn't here yet, but the wind was starting to pick up. That was straight into the wind. And I started thinking ahead about what tee shots had happened. I was like, oh, that ninth one's going to be tough. And it was actually coming down 8, and I was like, I'm not looking forward to that ninth tee shot. Teed off down 8, and I was like, how brave am I going to be without just aiming 40 degrees left? Because I know I can go in it first now. I kind of almost wish we didn't know that. So you had to kind of step up and hit one down the left center of the fairway and hit it. I ended up thinking I was going to aim at about the middle of the clubhouse from the line we were on. I ended up aiming to the left of the clubhouse and felt like I hit it pretty good, like a straight ball. And that ended up probably just right of center of the fairway.
Yeah, which is like, how much of a cut do you reckon?
Yeah, probably 30 meters from my start line. And I felt like I hit it pretty straight, like a straight shot. And it was like, and there was a brief moment where I was like, sit, like, because that could keep going. But it was never in danger of getting close. But yeah, definitely wasn't comfortable. It was a relief, but also some pride of like, oh, cool. That was nice, because I kind of went through those keys for success for me. So I feel like if I get a little bit faster in transition, that's when I get here and it can start way right. So it's like almost felt like a pause for a little bit. Just like, okay, now I can go. That's all right. And yeah, hit it really nicely. Yeah, I was definitely thinking about it a couple hours out.
Yeah, it's interesting, because I was saying to you that third one I hit, I felt like I just ripped the release, like not ripped it as in it hit a long way, but it's just like, this is going left. Yeah. And, but yeah, it was actually pretty straight, drifted a little bit at the end, which that was quite cool to go maybe tomorrow. Because I was thinking about that, because part of me, like you do reflect, and I thought, because I was aiming so far left, like, would I have been better to aim straight and just try and hit a dirty pull rather than aim left and kind of hit a straight one that gets caught in the wind? So, don't know the answer to that. But
what was funny actually for me is on the 6th hole, which is only maybe about 300 meters to the front of the green, so 500 meters. We didn't play it yesterday, but looking at the map, I was like, oh, it actually looks like one you can hit driver. It looks quite wide by the green. And we're getting there, it was straight into the wind. And I pumped one. It's gone like, oh no, actually I didn't hit it that well. And it got about 220. And I was like, you've teed off, and I was standing next to Ella Rose. And she goes, why is he having driver? Hasn't he got demons with that club? So that's quite funny. So she's never seen you play golf, but she's well aware of.
Well, because there was the previous holes when I had the anxiety, and I said to her, that's the reason I'm here, is not to, I said I could have had a different shot and club and wouldn't have made a fool of myself. But the reason I'm here is to, like, I'm sick of running away from that demon. Yeah, that was part of that conversation. And there was no real demons to have on the 6th hole, because couldn't really hit it out of bounds. I had an interesting situation on that 7th, the par 3, where I hit it into the hay. Like, I was probably only, how far do you reckon I was right of the flag?
It wouldn't be more than 10 paces from the flag, maybe 7 or 8 paces from the flag.
And I was in that long, linksy rough-a that nestles over itself, and it folded over my ball, which is down. And this is where, no disrespect to Ella Rose, but this is where a good caddy, because I did think in my head, I could just take a unplayable, which is silly when you think you're 10 yards away. 2 club lengths would have got me onto the fringe. Yeah. And then there's still a tricky little shot, but back into the wind.
Just up a little slope.
Yeah. I think
at worst, you could have got a putter on it. Yeah. It was tricky in terms of the distance if you were trying to nip one, but
not a massively hard shot, eh?
Yeah.
But I chose to hit it, and which is dumb, I think. And that was actually the dumbest shot I hit. Or it was a good shot I hit.
You did pretty well out of that lie to just get it out, because it could have stayed in there, and then you would have been in big trouble.
Yeah, well, then I guess I've taken the unplayable, but I've added a shot to it. But that was interesting to go. I thought the unplayable, and then in my head I was like, just getting this out would be a miracle. So then I'm like, so afterwards, but then I hit it anyway, because I turned around to Sam and said, do you want me to go back? Because he was taking a drop. And I should have gone, hold on, back up the bus here. What are you doing? didn't cost me. Anyway, flew out hot.
Yeah.
30 yards away. The other side of the green, but managed to get that up and down.
Down one, that was a beautiful chip shot.
Yeah, I had a couple of nice chips today. Have we mentioned what the outcome of the day was yet?
No, not yet.
No.
So got to 9 holes, and I turned around. So you were finishing out the 9, and I turned around and looked down the first hole, and a group of people with Titleist and Ping umbrellas, like flash gear, were coming down. And I was like, that doesn't look like normal club members. And trying to look through the rain, I was like, that looks like some of our field. What are they doing walking off? And I'd hit a putt that snuck a little bit past. It was like 4 feet to come back for par. And a puddle started to form kind of between my hole and the hole where my ball was. And I was not looking forward to the putt. And I was like, I'll mark it. And I'll kind of just wait a second here. And they walking down, and play was suspended. Marked my ball and was like, cool, I'm happy to hopefully let that dry before I come back. But ultimately, they ended up calling it off. So it was suspended after 9 holes for us.
Yeah.
And play was abandoned for the day, and it's going to be a 1-round event tomorrow.
Yeah. Which I was
a little bit disappointed about.
You would have been, because you were playing. Yeah. What were you?
I was okay. The score wasn't great, but I did feel like there were some players who, looking at the scorecard, should be well above me, who weren't. And I was like, oh, I'm doing okay. I'm like middle of the pack, but it's okay. And there's some others who are blowing out, who it's too far gone to get back from. Yeah. And if we just had a 1-round event tomorrow, when it was fine, they're likely to shoot 5-6 under and blitz me.
Yeah, that's a funny one, because like I loved, it was a horrible score. Needed to suspend play in that moment. The green guy, as you say, you were going to be putting through a puddle. In fact, you would have had to move your ball, which you can do. Yeah. But it's a club pro event. You're probably one of the youngest there. It was an opportunity to connect with a group. And I thought Denver did a great job of just making a call, not getting everyone's opinion, because I was like, yeah, call them off. So I was 1 over through 5 with the 3-putt.
Yep.
Otherwise, had every fairway, got except 5 and every green. So I was like, oh, yeah, this is all good. But then, I also went through 6, actually. And then I bogeyed 7.
Yeah.
And then 8's when the score came. We all bogeyed 8. And then I made double on 9. So I went from 1 over to 5 over. And I was like, fuck. No, I'll have to mute that. And in some ways I thought, I didn't feel like I played that bad. But then I thought, he also held a couple of good putts to only be 5 over. So it could have been worse. But I like that Denver just made a call and just went, no, didn't go for, because half of us were like, yes, sweet. Because there was a few, older than me that were like, and it's not about that. At a normal tournament, I think you would have carried on for sure. But it was ended up being quite a lovely afternoon, just in the clubhouse, and everyone just sort of mixing and mingling and having a few yarns.
Yeah, I think he did a really good job with going, no, that's it, we're off. Did pull some strings, obviously, in the kitchen, because the banquet dinner was, the buffet dinner was really nice and early. So kind of got everyone in the clubhouse, and it was a pretty nice atmosphere in there. So yeah, ultimately, I was a bit disappointed, but the only other ones were the tour players who are currently 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th on the leaderboards.
Do you know, I never looked at the leaderboard. Yeah. I could not tell you who was 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, or 5th, or where I was running. Yeah. But it's like we were saying tonight at dinner, golf's a unique sport like that, because you kind of, well, certainly for me at least, it's a competition against me. Like, it's me versus me, and I don't usually win, which is a bit shit. Yeah. It actually doesn't matter what anyone else does. Yeah. Which it might be different if I was competitive, in terms of, like if I was one of the guys that were going to win it, then you might be looking around a bit more. But when you just kind of not going through the motions, but when you're playing your own battle, maybe that's different.
We actually had this conversation in the car on the way back, but I was looking for our other playing partner had his ball left, and he was looking for it, and I went up there to help him look. And I thought it was further left than where he was looking. And he ended up sort of doubling back on himself, thinking, oh, maybe it was on the previous sort of mound. And I was like, I'm just going to look over there because I think it's further left. And I ended up finding it. And whether it's right or wrong, but it kind of went through my head as like, I'm ultimately competing against him. Should I have just followed him and be like, hey, it's up to him where he wants to look, and I'll follow him and I'll help him in that general area? Or do you just go, hey, no, look, I want to be a good guy and I think it went there, I'm going to have a look there. Ultimately, if I didn't find it, would he be like, man, what are you looking there for? Why aren't you following me? So it was like a little bit of a dilemma. Ultimately, I was like, I'm pretty sure I was there. I ended up finding this ball, potentially saved him 2 shots, maybe, maybe not. But I was like, that's an interesting one. Like, do you help as best you can, or do you kind of just help to an adequate level, or do you just kind of go, man, can see it, sorry?
I think it's interesting. I genuinely think you help to the best, because my thinking is, like we talked about in the car, I want to be you at your best. And I don't want any sort of thought that I could have probably saved Scotty 2 shots there, but I beat him by 1. And I know that might be unpopular opinion, but Pippa Grange, who I've talked to you a lot about, performance psychologist, she'll talk about winning shallow and winning deep. And there's that bit of me that's like, I don't want to win shallow. And that would be, I think, that. And then I would hope that someone would look for my ball with great intent. Do you know one thing I found really interesting, though, was on a similar note, on the, what's it called now? Not the Challenge Tour, Hotel Planner Tour, when I went over with Sam. Those guys, as soon as they start looking for their ball, every single player, the person whose shot it is, get their phone out and they start the timer straight away.
Mm-hmm.
So it's awesome accountability and responsibility. They don't wait for anyone else. They literally have the timer going and they all do it.
Wow.
So, which is quite cool, because then it's like, because sometimes you look and you're like,
how long is it been? Yeah.
Well, it's probably only been a minute. Someone's going to be 5. So I think that's a really cool habit to do, is to go, right, press go.
Yeah.
But yeah, and maybe if I was more competitive, as in not competitive spirit, but if I was closer to being able to win, maybe then I may have a different opinion. But I think you want to beat the other person when they're at their best, because then you can go, yeah, I won that.
Yeah. And I saved you 2 shots.
Yeah, you played your best, I'll still beat you.
Yeah, it was interesting because it doesn't come up in playing club golf. And I've never thought about that before.
Yeah.
And I don't know what popped into my head today. And I'm glad that I did do what I thought was right.
Yeah.
So I didn't accidentally find it. I did what I thought was right.
Yeah.
And would do it again. But yeah, it was one of those things like, oh, now that I'm in a competition where we're playing for prize money and each place matters in terms of prize money. Yeah, I just thought it was interesting. Anyway.
Yeah, that is interesting. What other reflections from the day? What have you taken from today that you think you can use tomorrow?
I was really happy with the way I hit the ball off the tee.
Yep.
And
what did you say? You missed 1 fairway?
Technically 2, but one of them, the GPS, it must be an older picture because it looked like the fairway went round and I hit it left of this fairway, middle fairway bunker. It
was on 5.
Yeah, on 5. I actually hit it right where I was aiming.
That's probably your best drive.
And it was the right line to go into the green too.
Yeah.
So it's a missed fairway, but
that's where I reckon stats are, which I say this to all the young people, and I think you and I might have had this conversation, but the stats are there to help you. So I would take that as go, it's exactly where I aimed it. I thought it was the fairway and I flushed it. You've actually got you're not competing your stats to try and win the fairway percentage of the year award or anything. Like, you're trying to learn, what have I learned from today? And so those ones I'd go, just put it down as a fairway hit. Like it's like I had my pro shot onto the green. It's 10 feet from the hole, but it's on the fringe. I don't say missed green, and if I 2-putt it for par, say, I don't go missed green up and down, because that's completely misleading.
Yeah.
It's actually a green. But equally, if I'm on the fringe, but I'm 60 feet away and I putt it, that probably is a missed green, because you got to look at your stats and go, what am I trying to learn out of this shit? Not how can I get the most absolute data? It's almost useful but not true, or true but not useful, or whatever. It's true but not useful, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's true you missed the fairway, but it's not a useful stat. Okay, so if the stats are purely for you and for your learning, then I think as long as you're honest enough and which you're hopefully going to be because it's about you trying to learn and get better. But because I thought that was probably your best drive.
Yeah, I absolutely striped it.
Yeah.
So it was straight down one again, but it probably went about 315.
Yeah.
And I had 111 into par 5, a short par 5, granted, but at 111. I did put it as a missed fairway with that in mind because it was just sitting down a bit, and I ended up hitting it 25 meters past the flag, and it's the longest putt I've had in a long time. So we're playing greens that big. But that was an interesting shot because I had 111. It was a front flag, but the hazard creeps in on the right, quite confronting too. There's actually a lot more green past the hazard, which you can't see. So I didn't want to risk landing it short because if I push to a touch, especially when it's sitting down, it feels like it can just squeeze right easily. So I was trying to land it just short of pin high, but on the green. And it kind of flew to pin high, but out of that wispy sort of rough, it just
goes.
Kept going and going and going, ended up 3-putting for par.
So your learnings for tomorrow, you drove it well.
So drove it well. So that's nice to know that I can, because that's probably the biggest thing for me is keeping the ball in play, I feel. I think I putted pretty poorly today, and I kind of hit one nice long putt with decent distance control, but other than that, nothing felt overly nice. They were okay, but nothing felt overly nice. And I did probably 3 poor putts in the 9 holes. So I wouldn't mind rolling a few before we play tomorrow, and probably spend less time on the range, more get the body warm, but not so concerned about seeing the ball fly off the club. And do a few more of that. And might probably have a couple of different options around the chipping green. Maybe use that bumping around with a 3-wood or an 8-iron a little bit more.
Yeah, you used that on 8, didn't you?
Yeah.
But that was when the score was
there. The score was coming through, and I wasn't quite sure. And it didn't feel like it was a wedge, like it was straight downwind. Chip wasn't going to stop either way. Oddly enough, it didn't feel like I hit it poorly, although the approach strokes game were pretty low. Like hitting it from 110 meters to 75 feet is not great for that. But also, there's a slightly lack of skill there as well. But I also I tried to take that number out of play where I'm going to be a bit cute, hit it in the hazard, and now up to 100 meters and I make bogey. Kind of tried to take that out. And then with the 8-iron on that par 3, there's a little bit of, I didn't quite understand the green complex, knowing that that's in the middle now. I'll probably go straight at that, and it's potentially not off the green. And then I had one really poor wedge shot from 90 meters straight into the wind, a little bit off the right. And I just pulled it a touch, and it just sailed. And it must have gone like 30 or 40 yards in the air from 90, right to left. So, apart from like that one wedge shot, I felt like I struck it decent enough.
Yeah.
But the wind's difficult to play in, and I definitely don't practice in the rain. I definitely don't practice go out to intentionally practice in the wind. So there is going to be a lack of control of distance and flight. So overly, pretty happy. As I said, I wanted to keep going because I thought 2 over through 9 was pretty solid, when it did feel like I missed a just over 3-footer and another 3-footer, and then 3-putted that par 5. So without doing anything different, it felt like I could have been 1 under.
Yeah. The shot you had into 7, the par 3.
Yeah, that was
lovely.
That was really nice.
Because that was, similar directions, 9, like wind off the left, pin on the right.
Yeah.
And you just seen Sam and I both kind of leaving your way yard. Yeah.
Yeah.
Talk me through that shot.
Yeah, so just seeing you guys do that, and interestingly enough, Sam's like, it's hard to aim that far left when you only practice on a sim. Like he's like, because there's a wall there. So it actually feels like you want to aim there, and the tee blocks are aimed there. So even when you set up, it's like you can see you're a little askew with the tee block. So there was a really clear something in the background. And I was like, this is a straight shot to that. And the wind's going to move it. So my start line was like left to the green, with my finish line pretty much being where my ball was, which ended up being 20 feet left. But I also knew that right looked dead. And if it went where your ball was, it kind of was. Like, unplayable was probably the best option, as you just discussed. And just really wanted to make sure that I didn't go. I made me left, so just sort of hold the face and let it ride the wind. I was like, no, I'm hitting a straight shot there. The wind will move it, and yeah, and it was pure, so it came off real nice. But that was how far was it? 146 or something.
Yeah.
And full 6-iron, so that kind of shows the
Yeah.
wind. Like full 6-iron, and I wasn't getting any more out of that.
Yeah. And so tomorrow, what are you looking forward to most?
I'm not looking forward to that first tee shot again, because
Yeah.
I feel like I can't do any better
Clocked
than that.
it, yeah.
I clocked it, and now I've got to go and do it again, but also starting from zero. So
Yeah.
not looking forward to that as much, but I'm looking forward to better conditions. It's meant to be sunnier and a bit warmer. I haven't actually checked the wind, but I don't think there's any rain due tomorrow. So I'm looking forward to that. But I really enjoyed being out there. Like, genuinely enjoyed playing golf, and it was cool because it was competitive, but I also didn't feel like I was under any pressure to perform or anything like that. There weren't really any expectations, and I really enjoyed it.
So you're not looking forward to the first tee tomorrow?
No, like, how do I do better than that?
Yeah, that's true. What are you looking forward to?
Making some birdies.
Yeah.
I made no birdies
No.
today. No birdies. Missed a couple of short ones, but that's okay. Well, I missed that one short one on first, and then 3-putt on the par 5.
Oh.
And actually, a poor decision I made. This is kind of a little off track, but ultimately, I made a poor decision on that short par 4. I hit 3-wood. It was straight downwind, and I looked at the GPS app, and it was 240 to carry the stuff on the right. Left of that was okay. There's a sort of a bunker at 250, but it was straight downwind. And I thought, if I get this, and I usually spin it a bit much anyway, if I get this with a bit of spin, it's just going to flow and just keep going. And it was about 290 to the front of the green, but the pin was at the back. So I didn't want to hit driver and go over the back if I hit it too well. And I also thought if I hit 3-wood, it'll likely be just short. And that seems like a relatively easy way. Downwind, I can just bump something up there. And I hit it pretty good, but it was a poor decision because it actually needed to be probably 260 carry that stuff. And I don't know, you probably saw it land because you were halfway up the field, but it probably landed about 250. But I ended up having a 30-meter pitch shot straight downwind where I had to land it. I had to carry it to the green, which there was only about 15 feet, maybe 20 feet to work with. And I was like, oh, I don't think I can stop this in the green. But from the angle that I had it up there and stop on the greens. After playing the hole only once before, I'm not beating myself up about the decision. It wasn't a great decision after sort of walking down there and seeing.
Especially when you saw how close you were to the bunker and the hazard. You got a 10-yard gap, which you found perfectly. Could have gone pear-shaped.
So, and the other thing as well is less likely to hit it offline being that far downwinds too. Like less likely to keep going. So I also felt like the dispersion was going to come in a little bit. So I felt pretty comfortable hitting that club, but it wasn't the right club. It was either driver or even a 6-iron to lay back and give yourself 100 in, where you can actually bounce something 15 feet short and stop it on the green.
Or even get a spin. That's where I think having a caddy, like if you imagine making not a proper caddy, but like, actually literally a proper caddy, not just someone pointing your bag. Who can sort of offset some of those decisions for you and like make you just think, hold on a minute, is this the best play you can make? But
the reason I brought that up is I'm looking forward to making some more good decisions, because I felt like I did make some good decisions on the day with some of the tee shots, and it helped executing them. Like, I considered hitting driver on 8, which was downwind as well, because that was like 395, I think, 4-iron, and it came out pure, and it was middle of the fairway, and I only had 9-iron in because it was so downwind. So driver just feels like it got narrower, but there was a temptation to driver because I was like, oh, if I hit 4-iron, I'm going to have 150 or 160. I ended up having 160, but being straight down one.
Yeah.
It was okay.
That was one of those holes where I wanted to ask you whether that was 4-iron. Because it seemed to go looked a long way when we were on the tee, and I was like, oh shit. I remember he says like,
It was 250 to the bunker, so that's why I did
Yeah.
that to 1, because I thought that just brings that into play, and that's not where you want to be.
Mike Nicholson, who's he was a legend at Tauranga Golf Club, won the Pub Championship 13 times, I think. Won the New Zealand Amateur too, actually. I used to play foursomes with him when I first started it, playing pennants for the club. And he would say to me, never watch anyone else hit. Like when they're hitting, you just look so that you can see where the ball goes if you want to, and you can say good shot, but don't watch their swing. And his theory was, like you pick up bad habits or something like that. But it sort of stuck with me. And so often, which is a bit of shit if you're playing with someone who wants a tip and you think, oh, sorry, man, I haven't watched you hit one shot. But I think if I hadn't have seen like that swing I made there was kind of I was a bit half-assed with it because I thought I had too much club with the hybrid. If I hadn't have seen yours, if I hadn't paid any attention, I would have just committed more to that.
Yeah.
So it was really interesting to go, oh yeah, sort of half-assed that because I was over the ball going, maybe it's ForeRight, not hybrid here. And then I fucking hit it. So yeah, probably a lesson that I learned it. Like, can I say I learned it if I'm still reminding myself of it? A lesson I was made aware of at like 14. But I think it's a good point.
It's funny because I don't watch too many people swing either, because I feel like I'm going to catch their tempo. I'm going to catch their tempo. Like if they're a bit violent, I feel like I'm going to step up and do the same thing. At the moment, I really like your tempo for me. So I'm happy watching yours because it's a good reminder for me. Like I feel like it's a good thing because it feels like you're nice and smooth through transition. Whereas if I watch someone who, is a bit violent, I'm like, okay, that's it. Like I'll watch down there and see them Fred. So yeah, it's quite fun.
Yeah.
What are you most looking forward to tomorrow?
Probably those shots again, the ones like if I think about the holes we played today, about 1, 5, and 9.
Yeah.
Hopefully the wind is off the left on 5 or 9.
Yeah.
I'd say that kind of hoping it isn't, but yeah, like looking forward to going. Lean into that.
Yeah.
If it goes OB, it goes OB, and I'll pick up another one. Although I probably do need to mark some more golf balls on my
golf balls.
Yeah. That's probably the main thing. I felt like everything else was comfy. Like I felt comfortable and calm enough, and it was going quickly. Like not in a rush, panicked way, but like we're moving along nicely, and that's probably it.
Nice. Any predictions for tomorrow? Anything you can share?
Oh, I said 75 today on our little Instagram thing, which would have been a hell of a back night.
Yeah, it's a good back night.
Given what was happening. All things being equal, if the weather's okay, I'd say 75 again, which we still don't know what the par is on the golf course. I could have looked on the scorecard, actually. Yeah. But I'd say 75. Yeah. What about you?
Nice. Well, optimistically today, I said 71, and I completely forgot that I looked at the forecast and it was going to start raining because when we were warming up, it was a bit windy, but it was quite nice. I know the holes now. Like I know that it's not driver there or it's 4-iron wedge there, so I'm hoping it's going to be calmer tomorrow. And it does look like there's no rain around, so I'm going to say 71 again.
Yeah,
because that's what I said with those intentions with that forecast today. So I'm going to go with 71. It might be a par 71. It might be a par 70. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
There's a few par 5s, so it's probably not 70. It might be 71, 72. So even par 1. And got any final thoughts or anything before we wrap it
up? Just that, as I said at the start, earlier on, probably the best thing is I'm looking forward to tomorrow, not dreading it. Like 20 years ago, I would have been sitting here going, fuck, I wonder if I can say that my wrist is sore, my back's sore, or I'm not feeling well, and get me out of here. Which I never did, but I'd show up with that mindset.
Yeah.
And I'd still play, but I'd play with that. I wish I could pull out mindset. Whereas, now it's like this morning I was thinking 75. Yeah, I'll be able to shoot 70. Now I'm like 75. Yeah, probably not. But fuck, it will have a crack.
Yeah, well, before the squalls, you've 6 greens a week.
Yeah, it was nice
6
before
from
the
6.
scores.
And then, I mean, you only missed the 7th, hissing into off the left by, only missed the green by probably 4 or 5 yards. So,
Yeah.
yeah, striking out nicely.
No, it wasn't though, but it was okay. Thin, I think, which is always unfair to strike. Eh?
Yeah.
It's kind of just skanks it down
Yeah.
straight enough. Any final thoughts?
Seems like an obvious one, but did you enjoy it out there today?
Yeah, I loved it. Yeah.
That's cool.
The thing that score, do you remember the Muirfield Open Championship when Tiger shot 81, I think, at Muirfield? It would have been like 2004, maybe. The squall came through when we were walking down 9.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, this reminds me of, yeah. But no, really, really enjoyed it. And it's cool. I mean, the luxury is we've got the same groups tomorrow. So Sam was cool. So yeah, looking forward to it.
Nice. Well, thanks for doing it.
See you. See you, everyone.